Hey Procreators, it's Kristen, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how I created these organized stacks of work in the Procreate gallery and how I made the cover photos for each one. So I'm going to start by opening Procreate, and this is my current gallery. Sorry, you can probably hear my dog next to me. They're my work assistants. So this is my current gallery, and it's not as nice as my last one because when I upgraded my iPad and got my new one, I didn't take the time to redo all of that. So I just kind of have a little bit going on here. So to create a stack, I'm going to show you how you would do that using these four works that come with the Procreate app. So if you tap and hold on any of the items in the gallery, you can then move it around. And if you hover over another one, you can see the one below it kind of turns like a shade of blue. And if you let go, it then puts those two in a stack. So now when I tap on that, it opens up and shows you what is in that stack. And it also renamed it to stack. So I can also do that with these other two. If you have a bunch that you want to move at the same time, you can do that also. You can tap and hold. And while you're holding this one, use your other hand to tap another one. And now you can see there are two there, and that's indicated by the little number 2 that's in the corner. Again, hover over until that opens up and then drop them in just by letting go. Okay, so now we have our 4 items in the stack, and the cover photo will always be the first image. So now if I move this just by dragging it and dropping it on the ends, now that one will be the first, the cover photo because it's the first one in the set. So now if I tap on the word stack, I can now rename this and I'll just call it Procreate. Hit done. Now if you want to create a specific cover photo like I did here, I'll show you how I did that. Just go into this stack and tap the plus sign to open a new canvas. I want it to be the screen size, and I'm going to rotate it so it is in a portrait mode instead of landscape. Now, the way I did mine is to kind of make them look like notebook covers, but you can make any kind of cover you like. Let me see, where's my branding color? So I currently have mine as my brand color, so you can just drag and drop a color into the canvas. And I used some coils that I purchased from Etsy. Let me just open up my Files app. I'm going to make this side by side here to make it a little bit easier. So I purchased mine from Jenny Golan, and she has a PNG image here. So I'm going to tap and drag that over into Procreate, slide that closed. Okay, now all of her coils are in one PNG, so you could just erase the ones you don't want to use, or just select the one you do. So I'm going to use the third one from the left, which is kind of like a goldish color. So to get rid of the rest, I'm going to crop them off by tapping the arrow and moving it off the canvas. Tap it again to cut that. Tap it again to move the other ones off. Tap it again to crop it. And now tap the arrow again to transform it and move it around. So I'm going to move it to the top and resize it. Okay, so to make the back behind the coils look like it's white or transparent even. My dog is really snoring. You can tap on that layer that you filled with color, choose the arrow, and scooch that down a little bit. Scooch back up a little bit. There. And then if you make the background transparent by turning off the checkbox, now it looks like a notebook. So this is currently kind of how I have mine set up. You can go in and decorate and design this more if you like. Let me add a new layer. You can add some labels to this. I hand lettered mine, but if you're not into hand lettering, you could just add some text by choosing the options menu, which is the wrench icon, choosing add, and then add text. Go into where it says edit style, and let's choose a color other than that green so we can see it. So I'm going to choose black. I lost that, so I'm going to tap the layer again, choose edit text to bring it back up, and let me choose crushed, and let's call this, make it a little bit bigger. So I'm going to go to my keyboard and type in Procreate. Now it's too big, so let me move that size down a little bit. And put that a little more in the middle. Okay, so I have my text there. Now mine kind of look like stickers. So in a layer below that, I'm going to choose white and get a brush. I'm just going to kind of outline this. This is really kind of quick for the sake of the tutorial. If I was doing this for real, I'd probably take a little bit more time making it look nice. But I'm just going to fill all that in. And to give it a little bit, actually let me just, to give it a little bit of a shadowed look, you can then duplicate this layer. So you're going to slide that layer to the left and choose duplicate. And on the one on the bottom of those two, tap on that, then tap your filters menu, which is the magic wand icon. Tap hue, saturation, brightness, and move the brightness level all the way to the left so it's completely black. Tap the magic wand again and choose Gaussian blur, and then slide your pencil to the right. Let's go about 15%. And then tap the arrow, and I'm gonna just move that so it's peeking out a little bit. Tap the arrow to turn it off. I'm going to go back into my layers and tap the N in that layer and turn down the opacity of that, just so it's just a little hint of a shadow, maybe like 50%. So that's how I created the labels on mine. Now you can also create more designs like I did in the first one, and somebody asked how I did each of those, and I can show you that. So I started with a white background. So instead of having this green layer, I'm going to make that white. So I'm just going to drag and drop the white in there. And on top of that layer, I added some, let me see if I can remember where they were. I added some designs that I sourced from Design Cuts. Black and white patterns maybe. Yes, these were the ones that I used. So I have all of these black and white patterns that I purchased from Design Cuts, and I'll just pick one, drag it on over and drop it in, close that up, and let me resize this so it fits the notebook. And to add a color to this, what I did is above that layer, I'm going to add another layer, and using my brand colors, I just made some lines of those colors. And then I blurred those out, so I hit the magic wand again and Gaussian blur and move my pencil to the right until they kind of blur together. Okay, then go into your layers again, tap that layer and choose clipping mask. And what that does is it clips that blurred layer to the layer directly beneath it, which was the black and white layers. And that is how I created each of those other cover photos. So now that that's complete, when I go back out to my gallery, and this is the first image in this stack, when I go back out, it is now the cover to that whole stack. So that's in a nutshell how I keep my stuff organized for myself. As you can see, I still have a lot of work to do there. I just haven't had the time to virtually organize my stacks here in Procreate. But when you make yours, be sure to share it with me. I'd love to see your design covers and what you come up with.